Hello all, welcome back to what's become a crucial game in the Championship Manager free playthrough series here at Ipswich. We are 19th in the Premier League. We have been rancid since you were last with us. I'm aware that my face is in front of this, so I'm going to give you the points breakdown. Wimbledon, 10 points. Ipswich, 11 points. Bolton, who we lost to, 3-1, 12 points. And then Chelsea, who were just about to play 12 points just above. Who've pulled themselves together since they've sacked Colin Lee. Newcastle, we've just drew with, despite the fact that they had gone down to 10 men and we were winning, so it's happened again. I cannot get any form going, cannot settle on a formation, but we are going with this. So I've called this 4-3-3 dual DM. So I'll explain some of this in a second, but we've got Wright, Robertson, Woolwork, Warner, Laurie, Mullins, Holland, and Petterudi behind... with the forward line even of Collymore, Hartson, and new signing Terry Cook, who has scored. So last time out, I had it like this. We just didn't create any chances other than the goal we scored. The only good result we have had since you've been away is this 0-0 draw with Arsenal. We got absolutely battered by them, played our normal 5-3-2. That was the final time I used that. And then the very next game, I used a different formation in the league and bored myself to that point. So we have not won since the 1-0 win over Norwich. So we really need to get a good result here against Chelsea. Let's have a look at what they are doing. Wow, they're playing an even crazier formation than us. 5-3-2 version 3. So what have they got going on here? The wing backs are they've got wing backs pushing all the way up into midfield when they've on the ball. Then these guys are covering. Robert Pires, Zolo's dropping. This is a crazy formation. They've got Gifton Noel Williams up front, who is decent. And then just another update. I'll show you this in a second. Ian Moore is now back in the Premiership. He'd already become unsettled at Rangers due to not starting. And he was signed by Middlesbrough. I was considering that. And I really wished I had now because he's had a great start for Middlesbrough despite his shooting of 11. But the problem we're having is this. We are back to just never creating or having any shots. And what's worse is Palencia featured in neither of those games for Arsenal against us, despite being on the bench. So they took our scorer and then have left us scoreless, rudderless. I was going to say we're not strikerless. We've got loads of strikers. They just don't do anything. But 28 minutes in now, this is better. It's been so long since we had a penalty, but we didn't need a penalty. It's a free kick, and Matt Holland, his second goal, he's playing in the midfield role. He's played all over this year due to different injuries, and we are 1-0 up. Now, can we hold on to this lead? And we can't because it's there. Robert Pires looks certain to score. He did score. That is his second goal of the Premier League campaign. And our lead was short-lived. But it has been restored. It is Collymore, but it won't count. The linesman has his flag up. He'd strayed fractionally offside. Come on, Collymore. I was going to say, I think that would only have been his second Premier League goal. Richard Wright has made the England squad, though. Now, I tried to get Michael Twiss from Man United to pair with Terry Cook in this new free up front system. But he wants like 19,000 and it only let me offer 15. I can't offload any of the dead wood. I've got so much bloat in my squad now. But we've made it to half time. 1-1. Could have been 2-1. Stan Collymore on a 5. Rudy's on a 5. So if things could be better. But at the minute we're not losing. What's Hartson doing? Hartson's on a 7. I don't want to move Hartson. I'll tell you what, Stan, you're disappointing me so much. I'm bringing David Johnson on for you. This is your chance, David. So I've got it on direct passing. I've considered going to short, but I'm worried, or I'm wondering now if my midfield is what is the issue. But then some of the teams we've lost to, like the guy who scored the goal for Birmingham against us, was dreadful. He's got no business being at this level, let alone scoring winners. So Matt Holland seems to be taking the direct free kicks in the minute. Right. I'm getting nervous now because things are going so bad that I can't end this series with either a sacking or relegation. After all our hard work, that would be so disappointing. Johnson, great football by Ipswich, but then he's gone and done that. But this is better. I know Chelsea are struggling, but they've turned things around. So for us to have much better share of the shooting stats and the possession, I think I'm going to stick with this formation. What seems to have helped is pushing these guys on. So when I'm with the ball, it's much more attacking. And then when we're without, we've still got a good defensive shape. I think I'm going to bring Scally on, though. Robertson is not doing it since he's come back, so I'm going to... He's been out injured, so he's only played... he's got 7 games there, but he's only been back for 2 games. He's missed a great deal of the season. Now, I'm like, possibly should have moved Scally and Carlo across, but I'm going to leave it like that. And as unambitious as it is, I'm really pleased with that point because things have been going poorly. Things have been going really poorly. So it's not massively helped us out. But it's kept us from going bottom at least. Because look, let's see, when was our last win? We've not won now in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've not won in 6 games. And now we've got Coventry coming up. Coventry are 5th. Coventry have got a much better team than us. Look, they've got Emil Heskey, they've got Stern John. That is an industrious forward line, isn't it? What did they pay for Stern? They got him on a free transfer, didn't they? So we're going to see how we get on from them. I was given a tremendous list of candidates to have a look at. I've been through. Not all of them are ideal, let's say, on this version of Manager, on this version of Championship Manager, but there are a few of them who've gone onto my watch list. I'm like, can Maniche come in and do a job for me? He's got passing 20. I'm getting it. Do you know what? Let's start with 1.3 Benfica. Let's start the dance. And there's Twiss. So was really, really desperate for him. He's only on 4,800 at Man United. He's not played all year. He's just like bumming it in the reserves, but he doesn't want to come and play for relegation-threatened Ipswich along with his mate Terry. And I'm disappointed. I think it says a lot about you, Michael. Right, here we go. They've accepted. And I'm like, look, positioning, set pieces, shooting, passing, off the ball, determination, dribbling, flair, crossing. Here we going straight on corners. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who does this. Right, he wants 9,000 as a squad player and 7,000 as an important player. I'm going to try this. So the board are still delighted. They remember everything that we've done to get them here. And they're hopeful, I presume, that we can turn things round. And we've spent a record now for Ipswich Town, which is 9 million this season. Oh. Let's put this down to 1 million. If he wants more money, Benfica, that's coming out of your cut. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do what? I want you getting goals, mate. So let's put these up. You can have all of that as far as I'm concerned. Oh, this is bad. Had completely forgotten about my players' own contracts. So I will tidy that up off episode, but I'll be back with a Maniche update. Right, so we've got him in. 1 million. He's got his 7 grand. He's going to have to be a crazy number. Let's give him 47, because I'm hopeful he's going to get 47 goals. And now we're up to 10 million. So that's probably it now in terms of transfers for us. And you might start to see some of the other guys whose contracts were expiring coming up. Because we had Matt Holland, David Johnson, who's obviously got no interest in re-signing for us, Jason Cundy, who still can't sell, and a few others. So Hughes has signed, he's re-signed. And Stefan Dalou, he's like, now that you've realised that's my name, I'm willing to stay for another 4 years. Right, Titus is back. Seems to have been being played up front because he's got 6 goals in 12 games for Kilmarnock. I did check, but he wasn't being used. I'm going to leave him in the reserves for the time being, though. And Holland has... I've glossed over the good news that Holland has also accepted a new contract. So those guys are here for the fight. David Johnson says a lot about his character that he's not even willing to discuss. Even though we have started to use him a tiny bit. I'd be interested to see when his contract comes up, if anyone comes in for him, because no one went for Lee Hughes, which probably tells its own story. And going into this Coventry match, we are now 20th. Right. Let's have a look. I'm going to push Holland forward into that spot. So I want Keats back. I want Keats and Mullins to swap side. What's Mullins shooting? I've done something wrong here. Right. Don't need that amount of midfielders on the bench. So I've got Given, Rudy, Huppier, Luna, Johnson. I'm quite happy with that. I am going to spin out Luna for Gerrard, though. That's gonna be my team. So we've got Coventry City. We've never played them before. First time on the channel, on the playthrough, even though it's season 4. And let's see, can we finally get a win and get going? Still on fast, because this is another crucial game. George Botan, what a player. And then next game, we're going to look to start getting Manish involved. Probably in that central midfield role. Philippe Clement, one-time transfer target. Hartson can't keep it down. Come on, Big John, this is your time. Terry Cook whips in the corner. Now, as long as we can keep their big men quiet up front. All by quiet. Let them combine for a goal, because that looked like Sternjohn to Heskey. Heskey's 5th of the season. And we're in real trouble. Let's not sugarcoat it. I'm like, maybe I should have put Manish in this time. Who has been sent? All right, so we're getting fortunate with the amount of times we are facing 10 men, but now we need to start capitalizing on that. So they're leaving that big old gap there. Forward line, this would be a great time for you to sort your act out. Oh, Cook strikes it with fury, but it's over the bar. And we're doing well now with the chances. Come on. Alex Ferguson always used to say, or Sir Alex Ferguson used to say that pressure is cumulative. And we've scored. It's John Hartson. He struck that from some way out. It's his first goal of the season. And we needed that. Big John, thank you very much. If we could grab another goal before halftime. Oh, and Collymore just hit the post. Collymore! Collymore's all over this. Collymore don't want this half to end. It's end of halves is when he comes alive, isn't it? And look, come on, guys. This has got to be us now. This has got to be us. I'm going to spin Collymore off, and I'm going to get Johnson on. What's Holland doing in from that? Holland's having a good game. The midfield's doing well here. Lads, I really need this. I can't have a winless bottom of the league episode. Think of the metrics. Oh, Casey Keller with some saves. Now, I'm not really sure what else I can do or change. I feel like I just need to be patient and give this some time. Which Fowler have they got? Is that Russ? Not Robbie Fowler, is it? Surely they've not got Robbie Fowler. Jason Fowler. The lesser Fowler. Doesn't look serious. He should be all right. Right. Come on, guys. Do it for me. Holland is having a good game. I don't really want to change that too much. Hartson, Collymore's now doing well. Johnson's still on a 6, but he's not been on long. I'm like, do I take Mullins off? I'm going to have to. Because I just need to... Need to try something. Ipswich win the corner. Right, Richard. Good save. Was what I was going for. I'm like, just stopped in the middle of the commentary because I am nervous here. This is squeaky bum time to go back to Sir Alex. I see it gets mentioned in the comments sometimes, so it shows what cultural impact he made with that comment. Corner kick. Robertson whips the ball over. Now, this were they 5th? It's not terrible, but it feels like such a wasted opportunity. Well, they were 6, so they're having a much better year than us. Look, they're in this little pack, not challenging for the league, but they're up there. We have jumped all the way off of the bottom there. So Chelsea, Bolton, Wimbledon, us all on 13 points. Then we've got Blackburn and Newcastle clear away in with 17. We've got Forest away. We've never played Forest, so it's another debut to the channel. They are 12th. And Forest, what did you do last match? You drew 0-0 with Blackburn, who are down there. This is, come on, let's be honest. This is a chance. We're going to keep the same formation. I now want me boy on the bench. Do I want him on the bench or putting him in? I'm thinking he might go in. I'm going to have a think about that. But it's better, isn't it? It's better. Now, I keep talking about David Johnson's redemption, but this is my redemption. This is my apology to Abstract in the comments from the transfer special, who was a Gillingham fan and was devastated that I didn't allow Titus to go there. So Titus will not be going Mansfield or Dunfermline. or he hopefully won't, because those will be being rejected. No, and no. So, hopefully, we can make peace. And there we go. Jason Cundy leaving, Titus Bramble off to Gillingham, 7th in the division. Look who snuck up here, all the way up from when we last saw them. It is Brentford, powered by the 4 goals and 3 assists of £6.5 million rated Freddie Lundberg, and the 11 goals of 1.9 million rated Michael Bridges. Who could have foreseen that? Right, nothing to go over or discuss. Same lineup. Robertson, Warnock, Laurie, Keats, Mullins, Holland still in there, Collymore, Hartson, Cook. Manish has come onto the bench. That is the only change. Fired a few guys off into reserve to tidy this up. And can we finally get a win? It's coming up to Christmas. Can we get a win on the episode? And there it is, Terry Cook. He's in. It's his second goal in 4 games, or second in 5 now, technically. £1 million, I believe we paid for him. Can this be it? Can this springboard us on to finally doing something? I was going to have a look at who's taking the corners, because I feel like with his crossing 20, what's his set pieces? Set pieces are 9. That's not as good. Maybe Cook should be taking some of these. Kevin Miller out though to smother that. I wasn't even sure how Cook was going to do, because he's kind of one of those people. He plays a role that we don't really use, because he's an attacking midfielder, forward right, not a centre, and he is playing on the right of that front 3. And he's probably not far off top scorer for us now with his 2 league goals, which I think is showing the problems that we have had this year. As I say, he's on a 7 here. Stan, come on, mate. This is your chance. Oh, I've just seen they've got Undlove. That's obviously Peter, isn't it? That man hates us. Collymore! Have some of that, Forest. That means a lot to me. Sometimes I overplay my reactions just for the camera, or underplay them just because I know people are into that. But that was real. Collymore completely misjudged that. I don't care. It is only his second goal. His second goal in 12 games and 3 substitute appearances. He got 11 last year. He's underperformed for us so far. Holland is playing well, so I'm going to delay the Portuguese's debut for now. I might even do something controversial and bring him on up front and tell him to drop in behind the strikers, just because it's a day to get crazy. I feel like Matt Holland's getting a lot of success from that role, but attacking is not really his thing. Right. Come here, son. This is your introduction to the Premier League. Let's have 30 minutes, please, of Portuguese magic. I feel like, even though he's not necessarily been scoring, that Hartson is doing a good role in that middle, because his name frequently comes up, and he's getting some good ratings since we've moved to this system. Now Carl Laurie is booked, so I might need to keep an eye on that. At 80, I'm going to have a look at me bench again. But 2-0 away from home with 15 to go is good. Well, you know, I would have taken this. I know that we can still mess this up from here, but right. Am I going to bring... despite his goal, I'm going to also bring on Johnson. I'm thinking about... Do you know what? I'm going to bring on Huppier for Robertson. I'm just stay in now. Let's close this out. Oh, no. I've taken off Matt Holland, who would just have slotted into there as well. What is his tackling? His tackling is 12. That is better than Keats, I think, isn't it? 11. So we're going to drop Mullins in. Manish, I'm sorry, mate, but it's time for everyone to be scrapping and sacrificing. Well, that's kind of like what I want. Am I going to put men behind the ball? If Forest get a goal, it's going on. But for the time being, I don't want to invite too much pressure onto myself. I was like, if Undlove scored, there was a chance you would see a mouse being thrown at a screen. He hit the stanchion and he's hit the woodwork. But it's a different league now, Peter. You can't hurt us anymore. And we have picked up a massive win. Fist pumps to the away fans. Here at the City ground. Look at that. Let's go see what that does for us. My aim is to get to a point here where my face isn't obscuring our rivals, because we're going to move up. Chelsea 13, back to the bottom of the league. Wimbledon 13, Bolton 14, us now on 16. We've closed that little gap. We've closed up on Forest. We've maybe got a system. We're not conceding too many goals finally. We're finally starting to score a few. Even Vance Warner, now a referee, check out his Twitter, is not going to... We're hopefully going to start pulling clear. I can't remember what my point was. I got so excited to point out that he's now a youth ref. Lee Hughes is back, though. Clive, you know, you've been a great servant, but it's time for you to go in there. I want this... I'm starting to streamline the people that we have. Carr's gone in there as well, you may notice. And now also has gone Jason Cundy. And, like, Rissiv... Can't get rid of him. Still kind of in and around the squad. And he is staying here for now. But there we go, people. We have got a tricky Spurs, Leeds, Spurs, Man United run coming up. But then we will be back, as always, for the third round of the Cup. We've got Everton, 8th in Division 1. So they've fallen off. Look at that, it's the first time I've seen this. Villa well clear. They've got the big man up front who is tearing this league apart again. What did he get last year? He got 17 last year. He's got 12 this year. So life without Moore as his partner has not slowed him down. You've got Wednesday there as well, look. So we will be back anyway for that. I'm now on the wrong team's fixtures. Let me start this again. There we go. Right, so we've got Everton, Liverpool, and then we'll have another look at Derby. So, or maybe we'll skip that and go to Blackburn, because I don't think we've seen that yet. But hopefully, even with this tricky run of games, we'll be able to maybe pick up a point or maybe another win. Where are these teams? Spurs are 5th, Leeds are 12th, and Man United are top, because we've seen that. So, you know, it's not ideal, but we have started to weather the storm, I hope. If nothing else, we're unbeaten during that whole little spell. It's an unbeaten episode. Let's call it that. That's probably what I'm going to call the thumbnail, because that completely hides the fact that we're performing so poorly. Thank you very much, though, once again. Please feel free to post in the comments. Let me know any more transfer targets. Let me know how you think the series is going. Give us a rating out of 10 if you want for this episode. There will be the World Cup Wednesday for those of you who are enjoying that. I get that's probably a different audience to this. But then we will be back for Friday Night Football. Thank you and goodbye.